When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech for Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech for Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240 here at Richmond International Raceway. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast network of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. I'm your host, Rick Souza, joined here in the booth by my co-host, John DeRudris.
It's going to be a fun night in Richmond because we have a lot of drivers trying to tackle this tricky short track here at the beginning of the season. Rick, this is our first short track that we've been to so far, and all I gotta say is we're going to be in for a night of action. Right now, Luke Bullard up at the top of the charts with Van Scoik and Habel there, and a familiar name Barletta there as well. So 2 out of the top 3 race winners right now in the top 4 in qualifying. Does that mean we could have a repeat winner? I do not know, but qualifying is about to wrap up here in about a minute, Rick.
All right, so let's talk about what the drivers will be facing today. For race info, right now, let's jump to another graphic. Let's talk about your keys to the race.
Yep, so keys to the race. You got to be patient. It's Richmond. It's a short track. A lot of times drivers overdrive the corner and overdrive the car, so that's number 1. Number 2, corner entry. Corner entry is everything here because you can easily slide the tires and completely destroy them and get them overheated so you can't get a good exit. So it's really a rhythm track. In third, chaos. You need to avoid the chaos. We are, 33 to 36 cars strong tonight at Richmond. It's a short track. There's going to be a lot of beating and banging, so you need to avoid the chaos to end up front.
Absolutely. So on to the current race conditions here.
So 240 laps. 60% fuel with my Larry McReynolds cap on. I think that's going to be about 40 to 48 laps with the 60% fuel. One quick repair, 5 sets of additional tires in the pits, 3 green, white checkers. As always, we are going to have a Tech for Troops scheme skirmish and an Owl's Nest Racing pole award, who was just won by Luke Bullard there. So Luke Bullard got the pole. It's a great night for racing, and the field is ready to get started.
All right, let's talk about where we stand now. This is our 4th race of the current season. Let's look at driver points right now. Harley Barletta sits on top. Ty Bostic in 2nd. Tyler Peebles in 3rd. Bullard in 4th. Ryan Pittman in 5th. Now, on the cut line, you've got Rodney Uberpacker, Christoph Hall, Russell Ottaway, right, and Sean Schupman is currently sitting in that 16th position.
You know, and Charles Van Scoik is a good one. You got to pay attention to him sitting there. He's had some really strong finishes as of late, so we'll see what he's able to do.
Now for the team championship, NB2 is still holding on top there with a pretty good lead over AJM and Retro Racing. They're both in a tie right now for 2nd, and that Average Joe Motorsports Team 2 is right there behind them. But it's still anybody's championship. There's plenty of events to go, and looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great season here in the Tech for Troops Cup Series and the Serving Those Who Serve 240. Can't wait to get this one underway. Looks like we have some cars in the back. Not quite gridded up yet, so we'll have to see what that's about.
Well,
but Ryan,
we've got 34 entries for tonight, which is really remarkable. You get a lot of folks come out when there's typically a mile and a half or a 2 mile, 2.5 mile short tracks. That takes some precision driving.
it really does, and we're going to see specifically what these drivers can do here tonight in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. And mastering this track is no easy feat. You know, we've seen some great green flag racing, but a lot of racing that is tight and some incidents. So we'll see how that mixes in tonight. But it looks like pace car lights still on. We're about to get these guys rolling off of the start-finish line, and there we go.
We are missing a few drivers tonight. At North Wilkesboro, the Cars Tour is getting underway tonight. Lots of big name drivers in that event. So have fun, all those Tech for Troops Cup Series drivers who are taking the night off and enjoying the sights and sounds of the refurbished North Wilkesboro Raceway.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to see some of the highlights from it. It's going to be really fun to watch. So we'll see how that goes. But pace car lights are off. I'm not sure if we're going to get 1 to green or if we are at 2 to green. I believe we are still at 2. Yes, we are. So one more time around and we'll get the show on the road.
All right, we'll do our best to bring you as much action as we possibly can. It is a challenging track. As John mentioned, it's really about how you set yourself up for the corner and how you get off of that corner, which will make or break your race.
It absolutely will, and we'll see how that plays out here late, especially with cautions and or trying to pit. It's going to be a big strategy game if we get green. Alrighty, here we go. Green flag is out, and we're underway in the Serving Those Who Serve 240.
Trying to take a wider shot here as we work our way back through the pack. We're 3 wide through a number of these turns here. That is hard to already in the 19.
Loose. That's John Ledger.
John Ledger is spinning. But he holds it. We stay green. We stay green.
Not the start that Ledger was looking for here early, but got to remember, it's a long way to go.
Back up at the front, Harley Barletta. Bullard is showing us the way. Van Scoik in second. Joey Doucette is battling with Austin Habel.
Doucette needs a strong run here at Richmond. I mean, he's deep down in the point standings, and at this time last year, he was up at the top, so he needs a strong run to make that statement. Now, looking on board, there's Harley Barletta and some of the other NB2 drivers right there is Jeff Nairn. And a car up into the fence, and we have a caution.
We do. It's like Brad Previtt may have had an incident. See him slow getting back around. Let's jump to that yellow flag detail.
Looks like he's on the apron a little bit.
That's a tough place to be because that apron has a different angle there. The 45, 3 cars involved.
Hard hit. That's Bobby Gibson.
Yep. 91 is definitely involved, as well as Gibson. That's Previtt and Gibson both involved in that incident. All right, both drivers are in the pits. A number of drivers there as well. Bobby Gibson, Matt McComas, Jorge Rincon. I haven't seen Jorge in is that his first race back?
I believe it is. I believe it is his first race back. Yep.
So a number of new faces and new names. Jorge has been with us last season, but I think we've got at least one new driver, Russell Keats. First time I'm seeing that name on the board, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, you know what happens when we have a caution? We have a track fact. So
there you go.
First question of the night. What year did Richmond Raceway open up? When did they open the doors here at Richmond? What year? Actually, I did not know this at all until I just learned about it. I thought it was interesting. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, lap 6 have scheduled 240 laps here at Richmond. It looks to be like a pretty nice afternoon here, late afternoon, but as we typically do here in the Tech for Troops series, if that track has lights, we will go under them as the race progresses. So we will transition from a day race into a night race as this event goes on. And as I said earlier, 240 laps around this 3/4 of a mile track. We could be here for a while.
We could be here for a while, and we hope you join us here on the IWM Broadcast Network. If you enjoy some of our previous broadcasts and you're coming back, thank you for coming back. If you're new here, we're going to be broadcasting our Tech for Troop Cup Series for the entire season for many, many, many weeks to come, and hopefully some more specific series going through the summer. So with that being said, we would love for you to subscribe and follow along. We appreciate all of our 200 now plus subscribers, I believe, Rick. We're up to over 200, and we thank every single one of them for all the constant support. So from everybody here at IWM and Tech for Troops, we love you all. There's a nice sentimental message.
There you go.
You know, because there's not some nice sentimental messages being sent right now probably throughout all the drivers with some of the carnage we've seen. So trying to release the tension, as they would say.
So a number of drivers, as I said, are off tonight, and Ryan Bittman, I know Ian Ogden, a number of other drivers are attending other events. So again, hope they have fun.
Oh, they sure will, 100%.
All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. That means we are going back to green right now.
Here we go. Pace car dips down, and we're in the Geico restart zone, and we're off. There goes Bullard. Green flag back out of Richmond.
All right, looks like a good clean restart. Making our way around. He continues to got a great jump on that restart for sure. Oh, caution is back out.
Well, to give the answer, 1946.
There you go.
Had to give it quick. That's when Richmond opened. I thought it was a newer track within the 80s, but 1946.
So I'm not really sure why that caution came out. We can try to catch what the yellow flag is going to tell us. Let's jump back here. 54. Let's watch the 54.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm just guessing right now. It definitely popped up on my radar, so I'm not sure what we see. I think it may have been, maybe not.
I truthfully don't know. I'm looking around the entire track. I don't see anything.
Yep, I don't see it.
Well, a phantom caution here at Richmond. 11 laps in.
Nope, can't tell you why, folks. What I do know is that we are under caution for the third time. Second time.
Yep. And with another caution, this brings up another track fact. What was Richmond International Raceway's original name? What was Richmond International Raceway's original name? Well, Rick, it's Richmond now, obviously. It's something that can breed cautions, lots of cautions early on. So I think once we get these jitters out, we're going to get a good green flag stint.
Makes perfect sense. All right, so thanks for tuning in tonight. We're just 12 laps in to our 240 lap event. 34 entries tonight in the Tech for Troops, serving those who served 240. And we are still pacing.
We are.
So we'll have to start working with the drivers in the future, John, about bringing them into the, talking to them directly during the race. We
should.
Did that for a while. We stopped it for a bit, but I think it's time to bring that back.
I think so too. I think we could get some different insights from the drivers, and obviously not this race, but we could bring some guys in and see what they're doing. Especially some of the guys that are out front or possibly who've gotten a win, see what their mindset is versus somebody who's in the back. So 100%, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, looks like the lights are off on our pace car. We're about to go back to green racing here at Richmond. Pace car is off.
And we're away. Green flag back out. Bullard takes the top spot again as the field dives into turn one.
3 wide into 1 and 2. Makes for a harrowing entry onto the backstretch.
You know, sometimes...
Go ahead.
So, sometimes around Richmond you hold your breath because you don't know what's going to happen when, and it's kind of that kind of track, and it looks like we have some drivers blinking, I believe. But we'll see what's going on. There's Jeff Nairn in the 27 trying to get up to the front. Cars loose all over the place. Oh, was that a wreck I saw? Was that somebody spinning?
Or someone blinking. I'm not sure what happened at the back there. Definitely a slower car in the field.
I believe, is that
5 is Freddie Durstock is 5. Thought that was who we saw possibly struggling. we'll head back up to the front.
Alrighty. Looks like a little bit of a closer gap now from Van Scoik to Doucette and Bullard. There goes Doucette around. Hold on to her. There she goes.
I think that was Alonzo King. I could be wrong.
Possibly could have been. As we are now working on lap 20. And the caution's out, Rick. Caution in 3. Caution in 3.
Matt McComas, possibly.
It's actually the entrance of 4. What happened to Matt?
Let's try to see just what happened here. Oh, Evan Amick lost it. And Matt was following along. Evan Amick contacts the inside wall. McComas is trying to hold on to it. Drifts up. Oh, takes out Durstock. So the 77, the 10, and unfortunately, by no fault of his own, the 5 of Freddie Durstock gets caught up in that.
You know, sometimes you try to pull a Days of Thunder move, and sometimes you're victorious, and sometimes you're not. So,
yep. Well, what was that old name of this track?
Atlantic Rural Fairgrounds. Atlantic Rural Fairgrounds. Interesting name.
Sounds like they may have had a 4-H show there once or twice.
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
Atlantic Rural Fairgrounds.
Well, we're really just barely scratching the surface of this event. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech for Troops? Tech for Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to techfortroops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech for Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240 here at Richmond International Raceway. I am Rick Souza here with John DeRugis with the IWM Broadcast Network, bringing you this race here. We are under our third caution of the night, and a spin with collecting a few drivers. Evan Amick, Matt McComas, and Freddie Durstock were involved, but they have got their cars righted and they are back out on the track.
Got another trivia question. So the original name of Richmond was Atlantic Rural Fairgrounds, but it also had another name, a little bit more of a fruitier name in 1948. What was that name that it changed to from Atlantic Rural to XYZ? You don't have to type that in the chat, Rick. That was a very confusing way to say that, but it changed from Atlantic Rural to blank to then Richmond International Raceway. So what was that middle name that it had in 1948?
Oh, someone hopped into that one quick.
Let's see if I'm not on the YouTube chat. Let's see if that was if this answer possibly could be correct. If it is
from Twitch, it's Rec Rap saying it's Cherry Blossom Raceway.
Cherry Blossom. I like it actually.
Sounds
I like
kind
that.
of fruity. Yeah.
It does sound kind of fruity. It is a cherry in there. So we'll
Lights
see if
are
that's
off
the correct
on top
one.
of our pace car.
They're in the Geico restart zone, and we're off again. Green flag racing.
We've survived the first turn.
We have. We are a tenth of the way through the race, Rick. Exactly
are.
a tenth.
Got some good paint schemes out there tonight. Now each and every week, Tech for Troops does a scheme skirmish where they make selections for the best paint scheme of the night.
That we do. How's it going?
Oh, we're
this
wrecking.
week, gentlemen?
Uh-oh, we're wrecking again.
Yep, big wreck on the back. Well, didn't mean to interrupt you there, Jason. We got a couple cars getting collected on the backstretch. A couple of those beautiful paint schemes we were about to talk about just got a few scratches on them. They'll still look beautiful, though. They'll still look good.
They still look great. And if memory serves, I believe this might have been Tech for Troops' first race with you guys this time last year, because Richmond is, as you know, the home of Tech for Troops. We're located right in the center of it there. And I remember it being big deal, getting ready, watching this, and then it was crash after crash. And of course, it's incredibly interesting to watch as the cars, and there's always just something a little different that kind of takes a turn for the unexpected every time. But I was assured it wasn't really typical. It's the short track that throws everybody for a loop. Is that true?
Very, very true. It's, this is the first track we've run this season, Jason. So, these drivers are not quite used to short tracks in these cars just yet. Obviously, we're still, very early on. So, Nashville last week was kind of a bigger version of this track, but you are spot on there. It looks like that is the 6 car getting into the side of the 47. Just got loose. It happens on cold tires.
So it really wasn't a big deal for the 6, but had the 47 not been right under him, it wouldn't have been quite the issue. But since it collected the 47. Once you tag that right rear, it is going around and.
Sure. As I said, it's always fun to watch, and the Richmond circuit just brings back some good memories for me. It's hard to believe that it's been a whole season has gone by with us with the Tech for Troops Cup Series. I wanted to highlight our winner of the Scheme Skirmish contest last week. It was Sammy Harrell. I'm iffy on the car number. You guys will have to tell me what that is.
Sammy is in the 42 STP.
That 42. Okay, because it has 43 on it somewhere. So
yeah.
I got confused with that.
So he's a 42. It's reminiscent of the STP paint scheme that Richard Petty ran, but he's made it his own.
It's absolutely fantastic, and he was our winner for last week. It's anybody's game so far for this week, and of course we'll be announcing that at next week's race. We've got some great things going on with our Twitch channel, with Tech for Troops Twitch channel. Check us out there, and it's just been a pleasure supporting you guys and seeing how the races pan out this year. So thanks for having me on, gentlemen.
You got it. Well, we'll look forward to who wins this week's Tech for Troop Scheme Skirmish.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, that's Jason Parker with Tech for Troops. Jason has been integral in our partnership with Tech for Troops, and it's really been a fabulous one, John.
It has. It's great to have him on board up here in the booth talking about that, and the fact that we are helping them get the word out about how they serve those who serve. That's their entire mission over there at Tech for Troops, and that's why this race means so much. It's their home track, like Jason said. It's the first race that they were a part of with us last year, exactly a year ago, and here they are with us, and we're with them. Tech for Troops serving those who serve 240. Couldn't be happier to have them on board, Rick. And with that being said, looks like we're about to get this show back on the road. Well, they're always on the road because they're cars. But we're about to get this get back under green. Pace car dips down. Bullard back as the control car, and we are off one more time.
Looks like a little bit of a stack up. I could be wrong, but there's a slick stack up on that inside line, but we're all down and getting around.
Calling the wall.
Yeah. Oh, and spinning.
Again. That's Matt McComas.
Comas is around again.
And David Watts.
54. We got a good shot of that.
Oh, I didn't give the answer. It was Strawberry Hill Raceway. There we go. Strawberry Hill Raceway.
There you go.
So Cherry Blossom was along the right path.
All right, so let's see if we can see just what happened here. We're focusing on McComas on the inside. Watts is on the outside. So David hits the wall, comes down, and, well, takes out the 10 of McComas. And they just collide a number of times, sliding down. There we go.
Yeah, I mean that was reminiscent of caution number 4, Rick. So turn 2 is the monster here at Richmond because it's really odd. The track narrows up going onto the front stretch or front curve basically, and it widens up in 1 and 2 narrow again, coming right off the corner. So it's very interesting to drive, and that wall approaches you faster than you think.
Absolutely. Well, 5th caution of the night. I don't know what the over-under is going to be for tonight. I'm a little afraid to hazard a guess. 206 laps to go. A few wave arounds here.
And I got another trivia question for everybody. Who won the very first NASCAR Cup Series race here at Richmond on April 19th, 1953? If you are a history buff or know a lot about NASCAR, you will know who won the very first race here at Richmond in 1953. I may have to find a new list here soon, Rick.
You just might. All right, Luke Bullard continues to show us the way. Joey Doucette is in second. Let's change that tower from time to place. And you got Van Scoik in third. Alonzo King shows up in fourth. You've got Zach Ward in fifth, Austin Abel in sixth, Harley Barletta in seventh, Maurice Burnett in eighth, Sammy King in ninth, and Christoph Hall is up to 10th.
So, Rick, I know we're at Richmond, but let's kind of talk about a little bit of what's going on here in the actual Cup Series. You have North Wilkesboro coming up this weekend, and with Formula One having postponed their race at Imola, I think this is a perfect opportunity for NASCAR to capture some new eyeballs and a new audience.
Oh, I think it's a great opportunity. In fact, for that matter, it's become the only game in town.
Yeah.
At least for an American audience. Now,
it is.
NASCAR was running neck and neck with the ratings with F1 for a while there, so could be good.
We'll see. It'd be interesting to see what it looks like.
Lights are on here in Richmond, and our pace car is off.
And the gas pedal is pressed. Oh, both lines, big checkup. The only driver I see on my screen is the 3 of Luke Bullard. Everybody else is all behind him. We got some bump drafting going up there in the front. And, don't get those close between first and second. And, they are tied up in the front. A lot of battling between. That is the 6, the 11. Very, very close racing there for third on back. Almost had an incident, but we got through it. 42's up in the wall.
He's back out. He survived it.
He's up in the very high line, running that Kyle Busch line.
that is hard to do consistently on this track. Oh, some earlier car on the wall.
Oh, yep, another car on the wall. Don't know who that was.
May have been the 12 of Greg Altizer.
Got a car down pit road.
Middle of the field here.
Alrighty.
A lot of action. You know, 3/4 mile track. It's hard to keep up with.
Oh, they're wrecking, maybe.
They survived it. Don't know how, but they lived to drive another turn.
It may be their last turn. We never know here.
So we are focusing on some little bit of battles as we go back to the field.
Yep, that was an incident between the 24 and the 12. 12's asking to get let down because he's coming down pit road. Looks like we are all straightened up for now, Rick. 42 in of 240. Looks like the majority of the field single file.
So back up at the front. Joey Doucette is now moved up to second. Van Scoik trying to get around Alonzo King. They're battling right there. That's our big battle here at the front between these two. That's Charles Van Scoik, Alonzo King. They are door to door. Good racing. It's a bumper between King and Scoik there at the front.
And we got some really tight racing up here, Rick.
They're not doing each other any favors by going side by side like that. They're not losing much ground.
No, but it's not going to work long term. You got to get single file and get your way, work your way around.
Looks like Alonzo King has got a slight advantage, but he goes high, allowing the 41 to go around. Of course, at the same time, the 7 of Zach Ward was way out of shape.
Wow. These cars seem kind of light on their feet, Rick.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm not sure. Remember, nobody has come in, although we have had a number of cautions. The top 18 have not seen pit road, so someone's blinking back there ahead of Sammy Harrell. I think it's Ty Bostic. Ty Bostic is currently having some connection issues, which is unfortunate for Ty.
Yep, Bostic, last week's winner, he does not need to have that. I mean, he's already secured his, place in the championship, but still wants to get a good finish here, as it looks like Bullard is still out front.
No, Joey Doucette had just eclipsed him. We missed that pass. Take a replay on that. Getting underneath the 3. And just driving around.
Well, familiar face up at the front.
Oh,
we
contact.
Yeah. And Luke was like, I'm pulling out of that. So new leader.
Joey Doucette.
Joey Doucette. We haven't seen him up there a lot recently.
No, but he is tonight. Oh, a little contact in the wall with the 4th place car of Alonzo King. So who was the very first Cup Series event winner in 1953?
Well, people in the NASCAR world may have heard of him before, but kind of a nobody. His name was Lee Petty. Not really sure who that guy is, but he won at whatever this racetrack is at Richmond. No big deal. No big deal. Of course, it would only be Lee Petty to win, Of course. Don't know if anybody guessed that. But now you know.
Well, definitely some movement happening, trying to...
Yeah, we got a lap car that I have to deal with.
Yep, that's David Watts there. He's staying high, letting the Leaders work their way around him. That's good sportsmanship from David. You don't have to, obviously, but if you know that you're off or you've got some damage or frankly this isn't your track, let him race.
Sure, let him race. Why not?
A car on the other side, I'm not sure who that was.
I don't know, but he's definitely down there on the apron.
Careful trying to get back up. There's a significant bit of change of angle between that apron and this racing surface, and it will upset that car.
It will literally make the car angrier than any other track almost, because it's such a narrow gap. I mean, look at that gap. You can barely fit one car between that yellow line and that wall. Looks like we possibly have a pass for second. We do. That's Van Scoit going around the 3 of Bullard. So what I'm kind of noticing, this is something that Luke's been doing. Last year, I remember at Bristol, he almost came back and won, played that long-term strategy. So, Rick, what do you think? Could this be Luke trying to play a long-term strategy, or could these guys just better?
I think it is, he's just letting the race play out to him. Wherever he winds up, he winds up. He knows it's a 240-lap event. You're not going to win it on lap 56. And if someone is faster, let him be it. And, Richmond's a kind of place where you can if you run a more consistent line, you will save your tires versus just chewing the heck out of them. And you will drive to survive.
You will. You will. Not the Formula One kind, though. The NASCAR kind.
The NASCAR. So 58 laps are in the books. Gets us 1/5 of the way through this event.
We just love our fractions tonight. We did
Yes.
a 10th, now a 5th. It'll be a 1/3 here in a little bit. It'll be a 1/2.
Well, at the lap, it's going to be a 4.
There we go. Exactly.
So a quarter of the way through this event, and our calculations went out the window when it came to fuel because of the 5 cautions we had in the past 60 laps. So that is probably added another 15 laps maybe on this tank of fuel.
Yeah, it's definitely added quite a few. I'm looking around lap 70 actually, because we had a ton of cautions with a ton of different laps, and under green flag conditions, you could see pretty much almost 2 to 2.5 gallons a lap. My bad, not 2.5 gallons a lap. You can run about 2 to 5 miles per gallon under green flag condition. Under caution, that's about 14 to 16. So we'll see how this plays out here in the next 5, 10, 15 laps, see who makes their way down pit road. I mean, this is the longest green flag run we've had, so green flag stops are imminent, but also getting on pit road is in and of itself its own battle, so you have to be very careful with that. I would not be surprised if we saw a car spin coming on the pit road.
Not surprised at all. So while we have this opportunity, let's take a short commercial break. You won't miss anything. We will be side by side in green flag conditions. 1 second. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops, serving those who served 240 here at Richmond International Raceway. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you joining in. And if you are out there listening, take an opportunity to click on that button at whatever stream you're watching on, and like and subscribe and stay in touch with what happens here on the IWM Broadcast Network, so we can bring you other events just like this. All right, Joey Doucette continues to show us the way. He and Charles Van Scoik have jumped out to a little bit of a gap between themselves and Alonzo King, currently showing in third. Alonzo's got his hands back there with Bullard on his tail to his inside. We'll see how that goes. Zach Ward a little bit farther back there showing. Zach is currently in 5th place. Try to highlight that driver. Behind Zach, Harley Barletta in 6th. Austin Habel showing now in 7th. Maurice Burnett is in 8th. Ty Bostic is in 9th, along with the 42 of Sammy Harrell in 10th. 14 of Mike Slachter is right there in that Mountain Dew. Behind, you've got Jeff Nearen in that Old Spice. That's the, so, no, I'm sorry, he's in that 27, sorry. As the passes are happening, we're losing our positions, and that's the 13th spot. That's, sorry, the 44 of Christoph Harrell, kind of lost in the weeds here. Tyler Peebles is the 75, is currently showing in 14th. And in 15th position, Russell Keats in the 4. Oh, little contact with the wall.
Yeah, we've had some contact all over the track. We had some contact with the leader in a lap down car, and it's definitely interesting to see how these drivers are going to play it. We're at lap 71. I'm predicting some pit stops here soon. So we'll see what happens. There's David Clayman there. Mark Hanna.
That's the 45 of Mark Hanna, you're right.
Looks like we got David Watts coming down pit road. He is a lap down. We got a tight battle for the lead.
Let's jump back up to the front with Doucette and Van Scoik, and I think they've run into some lap traffic, and that has really cost Joey Doucette some time.
Oh, little contact between the 41 and the 11. The 41's been beating on the back bumper of that 11 quite a bit now. Watch what happens as he goes in the corner. Look, oh, he turned him. He got into his left rear.
Definitely some contact there.
Oh, there goes Luke. He saved it. Luke is good. Well,
a little bit of contact with the wall. Back up front.
Van Scoik.
Yeah, he continues to bang on the door of the 11. He tried going low.
Here goes Van Scoik to the outside. Joey Doucette down low, and Van Scoik was not able to get the run.
These guys have got old tires. They're not going to grip like they did, but so they're nearly a second and a half off. So there is definitely, we're seeing somewhere.
Caution.
Sammy Harrell may have been involved.
The 4 of Russell Keats as well, and a 26.
Rodney Uberbacher. All right, let's see what we can see. I expect we'll see everybody on pit road this time by. I mean, it's really just old tires. But he may have had some, well, you know what? There it is. He just got caught on that apron.
Oh!
He got spun. The forward nose right into the wall. 45 gets by. They survive. That's Uber Packer there who was also involved.
Exactly. Unfortunate for those drivers, but fortunate for the leaders because they're all coming down pit road, Rick. Here we go. First stop of the night on lap 78. Wow. Seems like, wow, they can go a long way. Not really. We had a lot of cautions. So, everybody gets in their stall cleanly. Who is going to win the race off pit road? Is it going to be Doucette? Is it going to be Van Scoik? Maybe Bullard can pull some surprises and make a good pit stop. Looks like the 11's out. Bullard did hit that wall. So the 11 retains the lead.
We'll see how this all plays out. Yeah, like always with a pit stop like this, the field is a bit jumbled up, but we are going to get sorted out here before we go back to green. 162 laps to go here at Richmond. All right, any interesting trivia again here at Richmond, John?
Let's see. Okay, which active Cup Series driver has the most wins at Richmond?
We'll see who's consulting the Google.
Maybe it's Angelin. Angelin's pretty good at the Google.
All right, lap 80 is complete. We are 1/3 of the way through. There we are with our fractions. If you learn nothing from this broadcast, you will learn your fractions.
You definitely will. You definitely will. Hey, fractions can be used in any kind of conversation, you know, halves, quarters, 3/4, 1/6, 2/8, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, in baking.
Exactly. So if you like baking and you like NASCAR, watch our broadcast because we'll teach you about how to use fractions. There we go. Never thought I'd hear a comparison to baking and NASCAR outside of shake and bake, but there you go.
Maybe it's more just us counting down this event here as we wind this. This is our sixth caution of the night, brought on by a spin at the back of the field, collecting a couple of drivers. But the pace car is off, and we are back to green flag. Joey Doucette was our control car. Charles Van Scoik on the outside, and it is a battle. These are cold tires, folks.
Yeah, he has that spot. Van Scoik got tight. Oh, watch out. There, dives down. He's got into him.
Oh, that's Alonzo King. He spins.
He saved it, though. Nobody got into him just yet. Maybe not. Oh, they're wrecking. They're wrecking.
Caution is not out. Caution is not out, so it's green. You got to go.
Unfortunate there for Alonzo King. He is a tail into that, so.
Yep, he slipped all the way back from second or third to 22nd. Back at the
Got
front.
a caution.
Oh, caution is out. John Ledger, did I have that?
I'm not sure. Also, the answer to that question is Kyle Busch. Mr. Busch.
So let's see. I think I've got Tyler Peebles possibly. Or Watching the 75 here, he is under the 88, and the 88 comes down, unfortunately, into the 75 of Peebles. And then he will be collected, by the 19 of Ledger.
Oh, man. Ledger cannot catch a break tonight.
It's like beyond that, everybody makes it under, although I think that's King. Yeah, that was King, who basically just parked it to avoid it. And the 75 he was not too far off pit road.
Not at all.
All right. Lap 85 is now our 7th caution of the night.
I got to find more facts.
Yeah, we may just run out. We may have to make up facts about other things.
We could. We
other
could.
tracks.
Okay, I have one. Let's see. Who has the most wins all time at Richmond of past and present drivers? The answer is not Kyle Busch. Just throwing that out there. Who has the most wins all time at Richmond? Past or active? Which is obviously it's not Kyle Busch, so it has to be the past.
Good crowd tonight here at Richmond.
Very good crowd. A lot of virtual hot dogs and Cokes are being drank tonight.
I'm sure. All right. 154 laps to go. Lap 87 is in the books. Still just pacing here. A couple of drivers are still in the pits. That's Sammy Harrell is down on pit road, getting some service done. Also, Rodney Uberpacker is down on pit road. Looks like Sammy decided to get all the repair work done on that car. Looking pretty clean. Lights are off on our pace car.
They are. We're going to go green here fairly soon. And we'll see how this plays out as this race unfolds. Seventh caution, 1:53 to go. Pace car is about to dip down. Joey Doucette is your control car. Van Scoik wants that lead though, and we are back to green flag racing again. Outside line, a little checked up there from the 7, but we're underway.
Oh, that's a car on the wall. He's back out. That was a 28 of Bobby Gibson. He has brought out our 8th caution of the night. Let's try to back that. I think that incident took place a little bit prior to when the caution flew. All right. Just spun the tires. Caught the inside retaining wall. Parts flying. He's on the apron. Unfortunately, that's a bad place to be because of the angle between that apron and that racing surface, and unfortunately for Mr. Gibson, caution flag has flown.
It pretty much just sends your car into like a 3-wheel spin because it lifts that left rear off, so you lose all traction and all weight is just distributed in such an odd way. You can't save it. Literally, you can't save it. So, unfortunate there for Bobby. We're under our 8th caution. Who has the most wins at Richmond? Well, it's some other random guy who has the same last name as the first winner. But this dude, his name's Richard Petty. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him before, but he won here 13 times. 13. So Bush is going to have to be driving for quite a long time before he can make that mark. But Richard Petty has 13 wins.
Well, we just to let everybody know that the IWM broadcast network, racing network, each week puts out a podcast. You may not know that, but a podcast is out that we'd love for you to tune into. You can find that podcast. It's called The Highline by the IWM Racing Network. You can find it on whatever podcast channel you tune into, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere. And also it does play on our social media channels, but to get it first, you can like and subscribe, and it will be delivered usually sometime today, usually the day of our Wednesday event, sometime in the afternoon. So feel free. We'd love to have additional viewers. We were just notified that we are in the top 100 sports media, actually top 50 sports media podcasts now on the Apple Podcast Network.
There we go. So if you haven't listened to it, listen to it. We have interviews every week with the previous winner of the Tech for Troop Cup Series race of that previous week. We have clear, not clear session where we get in a very heated or maybe not so heated discussion about whether somebody's move in a previous race was clear or not clear. And we also update you on the world of NASCAR, sim racing, and other racing going on across the state. So we'd love for you to tune into that and subscribe, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
All right, lights are off on top of the pace car. Looks like next time by, they're entering now into turn 1 and 2 here. So we're about to make our way back to a restart. These drivers last pitted on lap 77, but they do not have a lot of green flag racing on these tires. We are now in our 8th caution of the night. We had 34 entries. We've only had a handful of retirees at this point. Just 4 cars have retired.
Absolutely, and we're back to green flag racing. Seems like a lot more cars should be retired.
Well,
no, we're
we
not.
just
No, we're
got
not.
another caution is back out. Bobby Gibson was involved again.
Ay.
Well, Bobby Gibson's car has a lot of damage. I think he was still missing his nose from the last incident. And unfortunately, that damaged race car, you can see it's missing its nose, was not able to hold it. And unfortunately for Bobby, his night is certainly not what he expected it to be. Okay, so we are chipping away at our 240 laps here with some caution laps.
Well, I don't know what you thought were going to be the over-under for cautions, Rick, but I am not sure if you want to share that number, but I'm pretty sure we're getting close. Pretty sure we're getting close.
Yep.
Well, Rick, it's been a fun one so far. I mean, we have about to be almost, what is 1 and 2.4 ready? I was like, what is now 100 of 240? There we go. We hit lap 100. 141 to go. Yeah, I couldn't do math right there. We're almost halfway. Almost
yeah,
halfway.
There we go. Yeah. 20 laps away from the halfway point here at Richmond in the Tech for Troops, serving those who served 240. Joey Doucette is currently as our leader and our control car for this restart of our 9th event.
This is not a track fact, or it is a track fact. I'm just going to say it. Did you know that the track was originally a half-mile dirt track? But in 1968, it was paved with asphalt, as well as reconfigured to the 3/4 mile D-shaped oval. So now you know it used to be some dirt.
All right. 9th caution is about to come to an end. Lights are off on top of our pace car. Joey Doucette has that inside lane. Behind him, his teammate Harley Barletta. To the outside, Van Scoik. And he's got the number 3 of Bullard behind him. 7 of Zach Ward is behind them on the outside. The 14 of Mike Slagter is up front.
And we're off. Green flag racing back out here. And you mentioned an interesting name, Slatker. Oh, there's Bullard almost to the left rear. The 41 doesn't get there, but Slatker's there.
There's some hard racing going on behind here. These guys battle for position.
Alrighty, 103 of 240 complete. There's Mark Hanna on the outside of the 44.
Oh, some contact a bit. I thought I saw. That would be David Clayman possibly getting around the 6 of Austin Habel.
You're correct. A little bit of contact there for those drivers. And a caution. And a caution.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it may have been Bobby Gibson again.
The third time's not the charm for the 28. Let's see what went on there with Mr. Gibson in that Dr. Pepper mobile. Did he hit the apron again, Rick?
I don't know. I think the car just has a lot of damage that I'm not sure. Oh, no, it happened before.
No, please don't get into Bobby. Please don't. Oh, no. It was Watts, Previtt, and Gibson was just trying to miss it.
So Previtt gets tagged in the left rear quarter by the 54. But Bobby saw it going on, and unfortunately,
No.
right into the barrels. More front end damage for that 28 And unfortunately, I think that may have been the last that Bobby could take on that car.
I mean, you can see right there his engine blew as he hit the barrels. It's very unfortunate there. Call the security, not the security guard. Call the marshal to get that tow truck out. They need to get somebody out here to get that. So tough break for Bobby.
Yep, this is a tough track. I mean, it's for me. I see this track as kind of one of those oddballs. It's not that half mile. It's not the 1 mile. It's just a weird track. It's almost like a baby mile and a half. Does that make sense?
It is.
And it doesn't drive like a mile and a half. It drives like a short track. So you have to really pay attention to how you get into 1 and then into 3. And if you don't, you're toast.
Literally, you are toast. Bobby's front end was toast that last time. So it's almost like I think this is very reminiscent of Nashville. Nashville is that D-shaped kind of oval, and Nashville's a mile and a half. So you can say that, those two tracks are very similar. Obviously, banking's a little bit different, especially corner exit is different, but general shape, they are both the letter D.
So we've got 7 cars who are not on the lead lap and who are in the pits getting repairs done. Evan Amick is getting back out on the track. I'm not sure how. Let's see if we have that information on Evan. He is 2 laps down. And he will be the last. I think Pete Woodrum, I think, is still out there. Woodrum is 14 laps down, but he had a lot of repairs done from that earlier incident. So really, attrition is beginning to take its toll here at the tail end of the field. A lot of guys have tagged those walls, and they tagged each other, and we're now on the 10th caution of the night. Okay, 132 laps to go. The lights are off on our pace car, so I'm hoping for a nice long green flag run.
Me too. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
It would.
And here we go. Pace car makes its way off of pit road. Or down on pit road, rather. We're green flag racing again. Side-by-side battle. That's Barletta. That's Van Scoik into turn 1.
Oh. I think that's the 6 that dived down low.
It is, and hopefully he's able to save that thing. I believe he is.
130 laps to go here at Richmond. Oh, car on the wall. I think that's the 88 of Maurice Burnett, but the green flag still flies. No caution here at Richmond.
No caution at Richmond, which means we are still going in the right direction. All cars are still pointed forward, so we'll see how this plays out.
Joey Doucette continues to lead, although he now has Charles Van Scoik on his bumper. Definitely some battles happening behind. Luke Bullard is back there, and he's got Harley Barletta behind him with Zach Ward on his tail. And then further on back, Zach Allen, Mike Slagter, and David Quayman are back there chasing, looking after the 6th, 7th, and 8th slots. Man, that car, that 6 of Austin Hable is loose. I'm not sure if it's just the approach he's making, but he certainly has his hands full. Just keep an eye on him as he goes. Around the 29 of William Mann. Oh, William Mann taps the rear end of Mark Hanna.
Hold on to it. Hold on to her. Oh, and we're under caution.
Well,
Again.
kind of caught that one again, John.
We did.
Are we jinxing him by fouling him, or hang on to it, Mark?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Rick.
All right. Well, that is the 11th caution of our night. Beautiful paint scheme on that 45 of Mark Hanna.
Gorgeous.
I get a better shot of that. There we go.
Look at that. That's a gorgeous one. Love the black and orange half crescent across the hood.
The honeycomb paint scheme.
Very nice. Very nice out of the 45 camp.
Okay, so while that was going on, there was a lead change that must have occurred. Let's see if we can find that lead change. It had to be just prior to that yellow, but heck if I can find it. There it is. Hey, he took that high line. That is some great racing by Charles Van Scoik in that 41. Okay, we are under our 11th caution of the night, coming up to exactly the halfway point, and we will take this opportunity to take another commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We will be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240. I'm Rick Souza, your host broadcaster here in the booth with John DeRudris, my co-host with the IWM Broadcast Network, and we are bringing you this event on the Tech for Troops Cup Series from Richmond International Speedway. We thank you for tuning in. We are on lap 121. We've just eclipsed the halfway point, 50% complete.
There we go. We have reached the great 50%, 1/2. Another fraction to add to your repertoire when you are baking.
That's 1/2 cup. All right. Well, I think we're starting to see some attrition in the making here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 cars that have retired. All right, Charles Van Scoik is our leader. And we are back under green flag.
Well, outside line did not get a good start at all. That's going to bring... Oh, hold on to her. We're 3 wide, maybe. Yep, we're 3 wide. Watch out. They held it together.
We've got a real good group of racers here at the front. Van Scoik, Bullard, Doucette, Barletta, Ward, Slagter, Allen.
3 wide again. They're tight going down the back or the front stretch. Here we go in the 1. 3 wide. And they're still 3 wide. And now we're back to regular scheduled programming.
We're still keeping our eyes on what's happening mid-pack here because there is a lot of action going on amongst these drivers.
Tons of action.
They're trying to get their way back up to the front, and the only way to do that is to maybe take a risk, get under somebody, take a different line, do something different, because what you're doing now has not worked for the past 125 laps. Oh,
as long
contact
as
between the 15 and the 6.
Oh, no. Big wreck. Oh, massive wreck car upside down or sideways. That's the 27 of Jeff Nairn.
Did we catch all of that?
Yes.
We need to see that again.
That was the biggest wreck of the night.
It happened long before this. Let's try to...
It happened with the 6 getting a little squirrely, but I think he had a little bit of assistance.
Yeah, maybe not. I think it just sort of... Let's just play it out. Let's see what happens. So I think the 6 came down. Well...
Little net code. Slight net code.
Yeah, little net code, but it looked like it was... Both drivers were fighting for the same spot. But unfortunately, the 15 survived, and the 6 did not. Bostic spinning, the 80 of Alonzo King involved, the 27 of Nairn.
Ah, wow. Nairn almost flips upside down. He's already up on 2 wheels.
Yep, lots of carnage. Who got the worst of that one?
I don't know. Take your pick. I mean, Jeff going up on 2 wheels. I mean, that's not good for the suspension. We'll see what happens. A tough break for a lot of these drivers here tonight.
Yep. So with this league, there's one quick repair, which means that kind of like a do-over. Damage occurs to your car, you can get your way back to pit road either by driving there or towing to pit road, and you get a fresh car. Damage is cured. The car, you get a chance to get back out there with a clean, fresh race car. You've only got one of those.
Only one, and you have to use it wisely, especially here. And I don't know. I don't know how many of those we're going to have left at the end of this one, Rick. But I can tell you right now, a lot of drivers have probably used theirs to their advantage. Well, I guess disadvantage. I mean, because you don't want to use it too early, but also, you know, you want to be able to put yourself in a position to win. So it's definitely a game you play.
Absolutely. So the other thing that's going to come into play here, potentially, is incident points.
That's a big, big possibility here. Right now, I wish I can see the total incident points, and I'll tell you specifically what we have. Right now, we have a lot of drivers that are in that double-digit mark, A couple drivers you want to pay attention to: Russell Keats, James Altizer, John Ledger, Uberpacker, and Gibson, all in double digits. Same thing with Redford, Amick, and King. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that, because the reason why we tell you is because if for some reason your driver just pops out of nowhere and he's not on the track anymore, he may have gone over the incident limit, which first infraction is a drive-through or a stop in the box. Second infraction, you're DQ'd.
Absolutely. So with the 12th caution about to come to a close, Charles Van Scoik will take us to the green flag. He's got Luke Bullitt on that outside. Very disorganized restart.
Let's hope they can keep their car straight.
So the first, just to put this in your head, top 10 have not, oh, goes a car sideways.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that was. Looks like Jeff Nairn, possibly. Let's go back. Luke Bullitt, I think, had passed for the lead. We'll see. We're trying to look for Jeff Nairn here, who may have got tapped by the 54. That's exactly what happened. The 54 tagged the 27, and unfortunately spins the 27. Everybody seems to get by. Pretty minor damage for the 27, but unfortunately we are back under caution.
Yes, we are, Rick. Yes, we are.
So, our 13th caution of the night, and as John was alluding to earlier, so NASCAR, iRacing assigns points, incident points, when an incident happens on the track. Could be going off the track, could be having your contact with the wall, or it could be worse, it could be your contact with another driver. And those points, could it be 1, 2, or 4 with each incident that happens. And after a certain amount of incidents with this league, it'll be a penalty. It's basically saying you've incurred too many incidents and you need to check yourself. And so the first, as John said, means you come down and you've got a black flag penalty to serve on pit road, and as it gets worse, and as you collect more, unfortunately, it could mean the end of your night.
Exactly, it could, and you don't want that, because a DQ is an automatic last place. Obviously, if multiple drivers are DQ'd, the first driver to get DQ'd is the last place, and the second, and so forth. But it's definitely tough with as many cars as we got, with 13 cautions. We are, right now, I just heard over the radio, we're at 55% caution laps, 45% racing. So we'll see what happens here.
That has made it a very long race so far, with 106 laps to go. We are an hour and a half into our broadcast. All right, so our 13th caution is out. Thank you for tuning in to our race tonight. We hope that we're doing our best to keep you entertained.
Something that may keep these drivers a little bit more entertained is that we do have timed sessions here on iRacing because servers can only be a certain length. So we have a little over an hour left until this session closes out. What that means is if we are still racing in exactly an hour from now, wherever the field is in that current running order, once that time expires is the end of the race, whether we get to the end or not. Kind of like almost at a super speedway like Talladega. Let's say we're doing too many overtimes and nighttime falls, kind of the same thing. Right now we have an hour left.
Red flag at a race event. Where the field is, that's how it finishes. Well, we have reached the halfway point, so whatever happens at this point, we'll just play it by ear, see what happens. And we are back to green flag racing. Luke Bullard is your leader.
He is. And we got some action. Here we go. Going into turn 1.
Oh,
Oh, hold on to her.
thought that was the 88 again. Good racing here up front. Charles Van Scoik takes the lead back, dropping below Luke Bullard. Luke's not ready to give it up. He's back on the rear bumper of Van Scoik, trying to take that back.
We got an intense battle for 4th place right there. Here comes Mike Slatker to the bottom. Not able to do anything going into 3, but it looks like they're going to keep it consistent. This time by, it'll be 100 laps to go. So, these guys are racing the clock and racing each other at this point.
With a typical lap taking about 23 seconds. They are going, it's going to be close.
It's going to be really close, Rick. It's going to be really close. But I'm going to speak this into existence. We're not going to have another caution for another 31 laps. I'm going to put my money on that lap 172. I don't know, just a random number. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things now.
I got you.
What's your guess? What's your guess? Let's make it fun. What's your guess?
Okay, well, hold on to that thought. We're gonna run a short commercial side by side. You won't miss anything. Yes, we're green flag racing. Hang on, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Lap 144 of 240. We've got 97 laps to go here with the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We're battling here. Charles Van Scoik has regained the lead over Luke Bullard. Joey Doucette is in 3rd. Zach Ward in 4th. Mike Slachter in 5th. Brandon Redford has worked his way up to 6th. Zach Allen in 7th. Christoph Hall in 8th. Harley Barletta in 9th. And William Mann Jr. is in 10th. Looks like we have to go back pretty far. Let's drop back a little bit. There's a little bit more action back here as looks like that's Alonzo King battling William Mann Jr. for 9th and 10th. Got the, that is, I'm trying to figure out, it's Ty Boston back there as well, getting up under David Clayman. Jeff Nairn has survived that last incident. He is now up to 14th. You know, these guys have an opportunity to get back. I think that they've, like you said earlier, they may have pocketed that quick repair. They may have had to use it, but now as this race is beginning to wind down, they're making their way back up to the front.
They are, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes here at Richmond, and it looks like everybody's minding their own P's and Q's.
This is the tightest battle, I think, happening right now. That's the 22 of Bostic with David Clayman going into William Mann Jr. That is a battle for 11. Up at the front, we'll take a quick shot with our leaders. Charles Van Scoik has got about a half-second interval over Luke Bullard with Joey Doucette and Zach Ward. Mike Slagner is back in 5th. They're nose to tail with Brandon Redford, Zach Allen. Oh, a little bit squirrely. That's the 47 of Brandon Redford. You know, these guys last pitted on lap 77. That was a lot of laps ago, although a good bit of those laps were not under green flag conditions.
That is correct.
He is in the wall. Now he's spinning. And that brings out caution number 14. Hold it. We caught that one too. I don't know how.
We're just getting too good. We're too good at this.
We're predicting where the incidents happen.
You know, I said 172 and caution came out on 152. So
Let's just double check something. I think we may have had an incident with Luke Bullard. Let's just see what happened with Luke. Did he tag the wall? Maybe there's a connection issue. Not really sure. The caution flies. Oh, okay. Never mind. Well, looks like everybody is now working their way down. The leaders are on pit road.
You know, Rick, with the cautions we've had, could this be the last stop? I don't mean to throw that out there, but I mean, with cautions, I mean, I guess we wouldn't get to the end at that point.
Not sure. Could be interesting.
We'll see how it shapes out. With Van Scoik out front, Nairn in second, Bostic, Amick, and Bullard, your current top 5.
All right, 87 to go. 14th caution of the night. We are running out of laps and running out of time to get this race in. Do you show in your black box, John, how much race time is left in the session?
Yes, we have exactly for 52 minutes.
Okay.
52 minutes.
I think we'll get it in if we can settle down a bit for these last 86 laps, barring a handful of cautions towards the end.
Of course.
Charles Van Scoik is your current leader. Jeff Nairn has moved up to second. Now, interesting though, Charles Van Scoik did not pit. He is still out there on old tires from lap 77. Everybody behind him either pitted on lap 126 or 152. I'm not sure how this is going to play out for Charles.
Not really sure, but we're about to find out how this goes.
If he didn't go in, and there's another quick caution here, he'll be the only person going in.
Exactly. You're exactly correct.
And the tail end of the field is 21st position. All right, lights are off. Next time by. The 84 laps to go. Pace car is off.
Alrighty, here we go. Pace car's off. Green flag back out. Van Scoik to the point.
Good jump by Charles Van Scoik. A little bit of battling going on behind him. Look at that, 2 and 3 wide. These guys are all on fresh tires. They're going to run him down. That's the 22 of Bostic on his tail. Ty pitted last on lap 126.
We have 3 wide in the front stretch. Joey Doucette's in the wall.
A little bit of contact further on back in the field around laps position 14, 15. And our 15th caution is out. Looks like, I'm not sure. I'm going to focus on David Watts, and let's just bring out this flag. See if we can see what happened here. Oh, he got tagged by the 6. That was, let's just back that up just a tad here. Unfortunately, that impacted both the 6 and the 54. 54 not quite as bad, but definitely the 6 has some potential toe link. He caught that right front pretty good.
He did, and that's unfortunate there for that machine.
Looks like Charles Van Scoik made his way down to pit road.
Probably a wise decision.
Probably with 81 laps to go. That's going to put him back in maybe 21st. We'll see how this all plays out. But that puts a familiar number at the front. Ty Bostic is back up with Alonzo King to his outside for this restart. He'll have Jeff Nairn behind him and Luke Bullard on the outside. You got 3 previous winners right there, top 6, right?
Yep. That's correct right there. All of them got Bostic,
Top
Bullard,
10.
Doucette, and then you got Jeff Nairn, who's been up at the front. You have, Alonzo King looking for. This is actually where Alonzo King got his first win last year and made that championship push.
Yep. Barletta as well is up in the top 10. Still under caution. Lights still are on top of our pace car. And hey, look, we want to thank you for tuning in. This is a rare opportunity each week that we get this chance to bring the Tech for Troops Cup Series to you each and every week. And we love doing what we do, whether that's here broadcasting and sim racing or just be able to talk about auto racing in general. So we thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network, and we appreciate you.
We do.
Okay, lights are off. That means lap will be back to green flag on lap with 77 laps to go. See that Jason has rejoined here us in the broadcast booth. Jason, have you given much thought to your Tech for Troops scheme skirmish? Oh, hang on one second, Jason. We're about to go back to green flag racing.
Here we go. Green is back out. And 3 wide. Luke's in the middle. Shit.
They saved it. Oh, there's still contact. They're still battling.
They're still battling side by side. Down into 3, dives it in there. Who's going to make it?
Alonzo King, Luke Bullard. Alonzo King loses it. Saves it, but loses the position.
Oh, we got a blinker, and we had a caution. And we got a caution.
I have no idea where to start.
I believe it was a 77. Listen to the radio. I believe that's where it started.
Yeah, let's back that up. That's Evan Amick. Oh. So, he was trying to get on pit road. Unfortunately, the 54 of David Watts back up. Let's ride along with David and see what he saw. Because he took a... Here's what David Watts saw at race speed.
Well, Rick.
Caution flies again here. Is it possible to get 20 cautions?
That's the record. That's the record. Could we beat it tonight? Possibly.
Is 20 our record?
I think 20 is the record, Rick. Yes.
That is a record that you do not want to have.
It's one that you don't even want to break either. I think that's even worse. It seems like Richmond, though, is our nemesis.
I think we had the same kind of race last season.
We did. We did, in fact, we did.
Well, 73 laps to go. By the time we get this back underway, it'll be down to 70 laps to go. Time is chipping away here, bit by bit.
I'm hearing a lot of chatter over the radio and a lot of people saying "I love you" to other drivers. So at least they're having a good time.
Yeah, no, that's great.
It is. It really is. You know, we are all about supporting each other, and even when these nights happen here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series, we're all here for each other. So as the night goes on, patience may run out, though, because right now we are 30 minutes away from the end of this session. To be at 40 minutes. 40 minutes to be exact. So we are getting close, Rick. We are getting close here on this lovely Wednesday night.
Simple math says, hey, 70 laps, 23 seconds per lap. That should be a piece of cake.
It should be.
Yeah, it's not.
Not at all.
That says it's going to take 28 minutes under green flag racing to finish this race, which leaves you 12 minutes of fluff.
Exactly. Could we have 12 minutes of fluff? We could. Are we, though? I don't know. That's a whole other story.
Ty Bosick is in control. We are back under green flag.
Yes,
green
we
flag
are.
Waves.
And the NB2
start.
guys are Yep, better start. NB2 guys are out front.
Alonzo King is right there. He's not wanting that to happen. And he takes over second, Bullard in third, Doucette in fourth, Ward in fifth. We've had 10 retirees so far.
Side-by-side racing for P2.
It's Luke Bullard and Alonzo King battle. You know, I'm not really sure who has a better position. I would rather be Luke Bullard for position, but I think Alonzo has that. If you can run that higher line, you'll be better off in the long run. But we haven't had a long run of green flag racing here.
Exactly. You can't even say that we had a long run because there's no long run to be had, unfortunately. So we'll see how long this spans out here for these guys. But as it stands right now, we're racing against the clock, and
Here's one to consider. Ty Bostic last pitted on lap 126. Everybody behind him went in on lap 152. So except for Jeff Nairn, who's back in 10th, he's got some definitely older tires.
Yeah, but we've been under caution for the majority of that. So,
Yep.
you know, it's definitely a matter of two different stories. So we'll see how this plays out.
Not sure what that matters for fuel at this point. Can't really tell. We have no access to the driver's fuel situation, or have any idea. We had an idea at the beginning about how many laps they get in, but we haven't seen a single green flag pit stop condition. .63 laps to go here at Richmond. This race is beginning to wind down. We're in the last quarter of this event.
More fraction.
We're in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter. We are in the fourth quarter here. Now, the thing is, can we finish the fourth quarter? That's the big thing, the big key, the big question.
I think that's a key for everybody here. You know, some of this, they're hoping to hang on, whether that's attrition or just to say that they made it around. There's a number of drivers who are out there right now in damaged race cars. They're just doing it to finish the race. Because you know what? Even if you're...
Sure, it matters. It definitely matters. Got a pass for second. There goes Joey Doucette down to the bottom side of Luke Bullard into turn one. Can he make it stick? Both drivers drive it in pretty deep. Can that three car hold that line? He does and gets the run off the corner. Kind of securing that lead. Chops the nose of the 11. Slides up. Bullard able to retain that second place spot.
Bostic and Bullard 1-2 here.
Doesn't that seem a little bit familiar, what's happening this season? Those NB2 guys are on point as we speak. There goes Bostic, lost it out of 2.
Yep. And unfortunately, the 80 is going to take it. The 11 is going to take advantage of that, take the outside position. Oh, he tags the wall. Of course, he's got Alonzo King to his inside and outside there. It's a lot going on up here at the front between these 5 cars.
Like you said, those tires are wearing out for the 22. So could Bullard get another victory? Wow, what a statement that would be for that 3 team.
.57 laps in the books. Luke Bullard, Doucette, Alonzo King, Bostic, Zach Ward. That's your top 5. Jason, if you're able to hear us, feel free to jump in. Bullock continues to show us the way. Joey Doucette is a clear second place now, as we've got some gaps in between these drivers. The field begin to spread out a bit here. Lost it.
Hold on to her.
Joey Doucette got really loose.
He held on to it, though. These guys are battling for their lives here. Got a pass for fourth. There goes a 7. Almost got into Bostic there. He's on his tail as they come out of turn 2. Got to make that pass. That is a 7 of Ward. 22 shuts the door slightly, but gets up that room coming out of turn 4. And Bostic is slowly sliding back.
Yeah, as we talk about Bostic last, pitted on lap 126, his tires are older. Seven makes his way past Boston for 4th place. And now this field is really beginning to spread out.
And as it stands right now, we are on track to finish on time. My timer says we are going to finish in roughly 18 minutes, which would be at 10:46. 10:46 Eastern Time, 9:46 Central. We'll see if how close I can get, barring any and all cautions.
All right, field is pretty much beginning to spread out pretty well. We'll highlight that leader, Luke Bullard, up there. That's that green outline of that 3. Why is that important? Because that will give you that he's got a number of drivers who are towards the end of the field or lap down. He's got the 1 of Woodrum in his sights and the 88 of Maurice Burnett also, so he will be encountering lap traffic sometime over the next lap and a half.
He will. It's going to happen, and as we saw in the Cup Series at Darlington, it's the same thing here in the Tech for Troops Series. Lap cars will produce wild efforts. We just see that somebody just said they're going to go high for the leaders, so we'll see how that goes, and yep, he does stay high.
All right, that was the 1 of Pete Woodrum. Again, good sportsmanship on his side. If if you're laps down and you're just back there making time to get around, being able to do that, that's just, again, great sportsmanship.
It really is.
All right, 1, 2, 3, Bullard, Doucette, and King working their way through this field. Their next potential lap car is the 88 of Maurice Burnett. He's got about a third of a straightaway ahead of them, but they can see him.
They sure can.
Whoa. Battle chance for Joey Doucette going after the first place.
Oh, moves him out of the way. He is moving him up the track. Well, that number 11 just pulled off what little number 1 did, and is Luke going to repay the favor in the 1?
It's not over. They're still battling.
There comes Luke Bullard down to the bottom side.
Oh, crossover move.
I don't think Luke was too happy with that. 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide for the lead. He's still there up top. The 3 crowds the 11. 44 to go.
We're still battling. There's no clear winner or leader here now. Oh, contact in the wall.
Oh, you wrecked him.
Doucette and Bullard spin. Big damage. Caution's out. Still in the wall. That's the 11. Lots of damage on that right side. Oh, and the left side. The 11 is going to need that quick repair. Hope he's still got it in his pocket.
Oh, that's not a typical caution, but that's rough. That is rough.
Wow. All right, we'll go back to. Let's try to find a far chase on this. There's lots of beating and banging here between the 3 and the 11. Well,
I mean, would you? I don't even know how to put that on really anybody, but it looks like the nose of the 11 turns down, don't you think?
No, well, I'm watching the stripes on the track, which helped me to define the line, and it looks like the 11 is giving some room to the 3. Because the 3 is coming up. You see the black lines on the track. Now the 11 splitting the white stripe. The 3 continues to come up, and unfortunately crowds him in, and looks like Larson Chastain there.
It does. I mean, we just got an apology for the 3 to the 11. Looks like the 11 should be back up and underway. He had that quick repair, so some tough racing. Hey, it's Richmond. It happens.
Yep. So, interestingly enough, a number of drivers did not come in with 41 laps to go. A lot did. So, pretty much, we'll see how this finishes up here and gets restacked with 41 laps to go. But if this is your, well, that one is going to go around. That's Pete Woodrum, so he'll go by the 81 behind of Harley Barletta. He may be your control car.
I think he will be. Mr. Barletta already got a win on the season, looking to secure his spot and the top spot.
So Sammy Harrell in the 42 and Harley Barletta are up there. They both pitted last on 152 and 160. Everybody behind them pitted this time around lap 198, 199. So they will all be on fresh tires. 38 laps of newer tires. So our 17th caution of the night. You saw that message from race control, John?
Yes, I did.
All right. Lights are off on the pace car. Pete Woodrum takes that wave around. He heads back and gets back one of his laps. And we're about to go back to green as we count down. Be 38 laps to go at the end of this race. Now, if this race is called on time, we will we'll just see what iRacing gives as far as the official. If not, we'll just take what the drivers can do, and we will always, as usual, bring you the top 3 finishers in the booth.
I want to talk to all these guys after the race. Green flag is out. We're back under racing, and that 81 is out there.
Keep an eye on that front. That's new territory for that 42 of Sammy Harrell.
He just got split in the middle by the 7 there of Ward. 42 dropping back. There comes Luke Bullard now. 81 gets a little squirrely, which is going to give the King, or the lead to Alonzo King. And we got a car in the infield. Oh, keep it on the bottom. We may get a caution, Rick.
Still green, still green.
We are now cutting lawns here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. And if you would like your lawn cut, just reach out to us anytime. Oh, we got a car. 41's wrecking on the front. That is the 14 to 44. Spin on the front stretch. Back up the track, hard hit. More wrecking.
That's the 22 of Bostic, I think, was involved. So I've got Bostic, Woodrum.
Got Doucette. Doucette was involved there too, Rick. Looks like we need to go back to possibly the 24 car.
Zach Allen. All right, let's try to see what that yellow flag was about. So we're focusing here on the 24 car.
It may have happened a little bit up front.
Oh yeah, it's up front. It's up front.
Oh, yeah. So I think it was, I believe it was
Bostic and the 41 of Charles Van Scoik. Let's back that up a little bit. And this is at the front of the race. So that's Luke Bullard trying to get in under the 41. 22 is right behind him. That's the 81 of Barletta above high. Van Scoik is sideways. And because he's off pace, he winds up coming down, splitting, and into the nose of the 22. They both spin. In the grass goes the 41. Contact again with the 22. And these guys have both been up front, and the 22 is on the apron and now on the racing surface. Everybody, I think, makes it. Oh, no, behind him. 24,
That's a 24.
makes contact. The
Freddie Durstock.
Durstock gets involved. Oh, and then Pete Woodrum completely annihilates the rear clip of the 22.
That's a good word. I like the I like annihilate. That's a good way to put it, because that Oreo is now crushed Oreos. So
I think Mr. Bostic has his Oreos crushed there as well. So
exactly.
All right, 33 laps to go, and this is our 18th caution of the night. Your leader, Alonzo King, right now. We'll go back to green around lap 30, but we cannot take our eyes off the clock. Where are we at?
21 minutes.
21 minutes. So just past 11 p.m. Eastern time will be the lights out for the event with 32 laps to go. So we are battling on the track and the clock.
It'll basically freeze the field wherever they are. Caution or green. With my calculations, we should be done in the next 12 to 15 minutes, barring any other cautions. So, Rick, I think this may come down to literally the last second.
Quite possible.
Very possible. Very possible.
So your current leaderboard has got Alonzo King on top, Zach Ward in the 7 in second, Luke Bullard in third, Semi Harrell there, David Clayman, Mike Slagter, John Ledger, Jeff Nairn, William Mann Jr., and Jorge Rincon and Marco Berube are up there 10 and 11. So
yeah,
some names we have not seen in a while. Top 10, that's great.
It is. It really is great. We'll see how this plays out for all these guys.
So lights are off, and we are about to go back to green.
Here we go. Battle against the clock and a battle against everybody else on the field. Green flag is out, and Alonzo King is underway. Bullard now moves into second, but watch out for Ward and Clayman right there. They're all battling for that top spot. Let's keep her clean and green, guys, to the end.
Oh, there's also already something happening in the back there, keeping our eye on the back of the field. These guys know there's only 30 laps left. They've got to get their way back up to the front if they're going to try and improve their position.
They are. Here comes the 7 down. We look down low on. Oh, car spinning.
That's the 81.
He kept it straight though.
That's
We're
Barletta.
good. We're good. It was
No,
nice.
we're
Oh,
not.
wow. That threw a caution. That's unfortunate. Because he had that thing saved.
He never lost it.
He may have gotten a little bit too sideways though for iRacing's liking. So, whoa, wow, this is going to be close.
All right, we've got one more commercial break to get in. Typically, these go side by side under green flag conditions, but yeah, tonight's a different kind of night, so we'll go side by side under caution. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech for Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech for Troops.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240 here at Richmond International Raceway. This race has wound down. We've got 27 laps to go, probably 25 when we go back to green flag racing. This is our 19th caution of the night. Not proud of that, but the record, we are right against the record here.
We're one shy. I mean, this is literally as close as to last year's race as we can get. I know it's not it's got to be the track. It just happens. I mean, this is twice, and even we have a vastly different field than we had last year too. So definitely an unusual night here for the Tech for Troop Cup Series. But we appreciate everybody tuning in to this long race. And we are now running against the clock, 17 minutes to go and counting. We're against the clock now.
Alonzo King is your control car. Luke Bullard in second. Zach Ward in third. David Clayman in fourth. Mike Slagter in fifth. Joey Doucette made his way out of the pits. He is back there in 21st. Bostic is in 22nd. They are at the tail end of the field. Looks like Bostic may have had a quick repair, and now is definitely the time to use it. But he is going to be back at the end of the field.
Yes, he will.
Looks like Luke Bullard's got a bit of a connection issue. He has blipped in and out a couple of times so far. You know, we're asking a lot of these drivers to maintain a connection in an event like this for as long as it has gone on. All these drivers connected at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's coming up to nearly 3 hours.
It is. I mean, it's a long time. It's a long time for these computers to be running at that kind of capacity, so we'll see how this plays out.
Lights are off in our pace car. Next time by the stripe, we will go back to green with 23 laps to go to finish. If it stays green, it's less than 10 minutes. And we're hoping we stay green.
Big word there.
Yeah.
Hope and if. And green flag is out. Alonzo King does not waste any time getting to the front of this pack. There's Luke Bullard looking to the bottom side as well. 23 laps to go. We are racing against the clock. 15 minutes left here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. Everybody's making their way out of turn 2 okay. As we go into turn 3.
Big move by David Clayman. He is up to third. Behind him, Zach Ward. Going to make the push to move up front. Now is the time to do it, and they have.
And we are under caution for the 20th
I think that was
time.
Grant Altizer possibly in the 12. Let's go back and see what we can see. It may not have been Grant, but we're looking. Yep, contact between the 24 spinning Altizer in the 12. And unfortunately, that brings out our 20th caution of the night. Well, looks like that didn't do a whole lot of damage to the 12, just unfortunately hit the caution button. That's the 22 of Bostic. You can see he's got some rear end damage. I'm not sure if he's got a quick repair left. He may just be going down. We'll see if he's got a quick repair left as he pulls into his pit. So he's just trying to get some damage repaired there, John. You know, sometimes just that 1 or 2 seconds of repair is enough to get going, but unfortunately that he is not. He's gonna go down a lap as the leaders come around, unless he can get out. He's trying. He will get out and stay on the lead lap. Okay, back up to the front. The lights are still on the pace car. Alonzo King is your leader. Luke Bullard in second. David Clayman in third. Zach Ward in fourth. Mike Slagter in fifth. John Ledger in sixth. Good for John Ledger after those earlier incidents. Sammy Harrell is up to 7. William Mann Jr. in 8. Jeff Nairn in 9. And Jorge Rincon up to 10th. Jorge started 30.
Absolutely. Lights are still on the pace car. I don't know why. I'm doing double duty right now. I'm race control, so I'm actually in control of this thing. Rick, kind of interesting to be in control of the race and broadcasting. I feel like this is a lot of power to have. So pace car lights are still on. It looks like some people are still on pit road. We should be getting one to go this time by. We are now approaching 10 minutes. 10 minutes here left in this race.
Bostic is on pit road, still getting some repairs made. Woodrum, he's been on there. I think really Bostic is the only one on pit road at this point, still on the lead lap. The rest are in extended period of repair.
Yep, that is correct. So here we go. We should be getting one to green this time by.
So it'll be 16 laps to go. Alonzo King and Luke Bullard at the front behind them, waiting to see what happens. You've got David Clayman and Zach Ward to the outside, Mike Slagter to the inside, and John Ledger on the outside. John's got a teammate behind him in William Mann Jr.
Well, Rick, here we go. They got to get going. They have 10 minutes left here in tonight's race. Pace cars down. We're in the restart zone. They stack up. And Alonzo King is off. Clayman now in second. And Bullard drops down. Oh, we got a lot of cars diving into the corner. Can we make it? We can make it. We can do it, Rick, right?
We can. We're trying. It's 4 wide.
Oh,
sure, they can make it 4 wide.
Oh, don't do that. He's below the 44. 44 is not going to give him any room. They slide up. Cars sideways. They're still wrecking. We got it, though. We're still racing.
Green. We survived.
Well, that's something we can't say often this race. 15 to go. Alonzo King still out front.
Contact in the back still, 81.
Oh,
Doors
gosh.
is involved in our 21st caution
Okay.
of the night comes out. I think that was, I'm not sure who he got involved with. Let's. So that's the 81, Evan Amick to the outside. Evan gave as much room as possible. The 81 just came up on top of him, unfortunately. You know, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. All right, 13 laps to go. Barletta coming down onto pit road.
Yep, Arletta comes down, which that is going to keep this pace car out at least for another lap.
Eight minutes of race time left with 13 laps to go.
It's going to be close. I'm going to have to give this thing a... I'm trying to give...
I don't think you can shorten it with so many people on pit road. Barletta is out. Evan Amick is still in the pits.
There's too many on pit road.
Lights are still on the pace car, making our way around. Looks like we're going to go back to green, probably on lap with 10 to go. It's going to be close.
I'm trying to find the button. I can't find the button to advance. If they don't go green this next time. Or if they don't go to, where are we? We should be getting...
Lights are still on the pace car.
I'm trying. I'm trying to figure this out. Rick, do you have any idea?
Mine are pre-programmed, but I'm afraid to.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yep, it's all right. It's all right.
Is it?
Okay, lights should come off the top of the pace car this time by. And they do, so we will go back to green flag racing with 9 laps to go. 21 cautions in the book, a record here. Alonzo King is your control car. David Clayman to the outside. Luke Bullard in third behind Alonzo King to his outside. Zach Ward behind the 3 of Bullard. You've got Mike Slagter, John Lynch to the outside, and we are off.
Here we go. Green flag again.
15 moved way down to block that 3 from coming up. We are back under caution again for Joey Doucette. And a ton, there's a lot of huge caution. I don't know where this is gonna. Doucette goes up, cuts inside between the 26, the 44 of Christoph Hall, tags the 11 of Joey Doucette, hits the wall. Pause that there. But then we've got Marco Berube involved. And John Ledger goes around. Marco Berube gets involved. The 41, the 29 collides. Durstock is involved. Jeff Neeren is involved. Bostic is involved. Jorge Rincon, Barletta. Is there anybody left? Wow. Okay. 20-second caution has occurred. There are 3 minutes left in this race. 6 laps to go. Caution is out. This one is not going to finish under green.
We're trying to get this one finished under green. I'm working with some drivers right now to get this underway. We might be able to get it done. We have to go green pretty quick, though. As long as no other cautions come out, we should be able to finish this in the next 2 minutes. So bear with us. We'll get this underway.
All right, 6 laps to go right now. Lights are on the pace car. Let's see what happens as it goes past the start and finish line. Now, we're going back to green next time by. Good job, race control. 5 laps to go. We will get the green flag with 4 laps to go and about 120 seconds to finish this race. 22 seconds per. We'll see. It's going to be close.
So right now it looks like we're going to have we have 3 more minutes, so we may be able to get this underway. I think we might. I told them next flag really pretty much ends the race, so we are off. Green flag is away. Got a stack up on the bottom side. Alonzo King in front, claiming in second. Bullard in third. 4 to go, Rick.
4 laps to go, 3 minutes left. Wrecking in the back to 12:22. Go around. Our caution is out. Again, that puts Alonzo King in front. He's racing to the flag. That may be the end of this race. Ty Bostic crashed in that one, as did Jeff Neeren. The 22 of Bostic, the 12, unfortunately the 12 lost it. That 12 is Grant Altizer, and looks like he took out the 22. Grant Altizer has cold tires. He just pitted on lap 220. And unfortunately, that's the end of the race for Altizer, Bostic, and the rest.
It looks like we have 2 different times going on here, Rick. On my clock, it says 30 seconds. On the other driver's clock, it says about 4 minutes. So we possibly could get this done by the driver's time. We'll see. We should be getting 1 to go this time by.
All right. So we are going to wind up probably in overtime.
Yes, we are.
This is our 23rd caution of the night. Let's hope we can survive, and that will be the new record for the most cautions in a single race. in the Tech for Troops Cup Series. But that puts King, Clayman on the outside, Bullard in third, Zach Ward in fourth, Slagler in fifth, Charles Van Scoik up to sixth, Semi Harrell in seventh, Rodney Uberpacker is in eighth.
Alrighty, here we go. Green flag back out, green, white checkered at Richmond. Next flag will end a row. We're wrecking again.
That was Luke Bullard involved.
That was.
24th caution of the night. Some debris there left on the track. Well, we are now in overtime. We just need to get this finished. There's not much time left. So with just a few minutes left on the race clock, we are at the mercy of time to close this out. Right now, Alonzo King is your leader. Hermas Castro just texted the broadcast booth and said, "Hey, I'm glad I went to the beach today." Well, you know what? I am sure I completely understand that. With our 24th caution here, that is one caution for every 10 laps here at Richmond. Lights are out on the pace car. Next time by, we will try to get this done in and under a green flag. But it's going to be tight. Not sure how much time is left on the drivers' clocks. But there can't be but a minute or so left. Alonzo King is your control car. He has got the 7 of Zach Ward to the outside. We're about to go back to green right here. And we are back to green flag racing. Alonzo King, big jump on the outside. Big scramble, trying to make it through 2 and 3 wide through the front stretch. Alonzo King is holding it together. Still under green. Zach Ward takes over second. Charles Van Scoik up to third. Side by side, battling. White flag is out. Whatever happens, happens. Final lap here at Richmond. Alonzo
Here
King,
comes the.
go ahead.
Here comes Alonzo, but here's Van Scoik down to the bottom. Is
were-
Alonzo King going to go back to back? Yes, he does. Alonzo King, very close to the end, wins the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240.
I don't think I've ever been as thankful to have a race finish as I am tonight, John.
You can say that again.
My gosh. Alonzo King is your unofficial winner. We'll wait for the final results to come in for my racing, but as we see it, Alonzo King wins the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240. Charles Van Scoik in second. Zach Ward finishes in third. Mike Slagner in fourth. William Mann Jr. in fifth. Sammy Harrell in sixth. Rodney Packer in seventh. And we'll bring up the finishing order as we watch the burnout ensue.
There we go, Rick. There's our finishing order for tonight's Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240. At the top of the board, Alonzo King there in P1, Charles Van Scoyk in second, Zach Ward in third, Mike Slatker in fourth, William Mann Jr. rounds out the top five with Sammy Harrell in sixth, Ronnie Uberhacker in seventh, Jorge Rincon in eighth, Ronnie Uberhacker in seventh, Jorge Rincon in eighth, Christoph Hall in ninth, and David Clayman in 10th.
In 11th, Maurice Burnett, Freddie Durstocky in 12th, Joey Doucette in 13th, Zach Allen in 14th, Ty Bostic in 15th, Jeff Nerin in 16th, Grant Altizer in 17th, Marco Berube in 18th, 19th is John Ledger, 20th is Luke Bullard, 21st, Holly Balletta, 22nd, Evan Amick, Brandon Redford in 23rd, Pete Woodrum in 24th, and Austin Hable in 25th.
In 26th, David Watts, Mark Hanna in 27th, Russell Heats in 28th, Bobby Gibson 29th, Brad Previtt in 30th, Tyler Peebles in 31st, Matt McComas 32nd, Travis Murgard in 33rd, and Kane Vandemark in 34th.
All right, that wraps up tonight's event. Now we're just waiting on driver interviews, and the drivers have made their way. Hang on one second. Let's bring in Mr. Zach Ward to the broadcast booth. Zach, you survived. Congratulations on your P3 finish.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels good to finally get a good run, man. It's been brutal so far for me this season. So
it's good to see you battling up front.
Yeah, I mean, we kept it up front the whole night, pretty much. I think the lowest we dropped down to was like 8th. So, I mean, finally put together a full race. That's all I'm thankful for, man.
It was a long one for sure.
Yeah, I wish I feel like I had something for those guys on the long run. I was kind of saving my stuff. I started to reel him in on that like 50 lap run we had, but we just, I mean, too many cautions, couldn't really get into a rhythm. And this is such a rhythm track. It's tough, man.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, this is the most cautions we've ever had in any season so far to date. And unfortunately, these big caution events have always occurred here at Richmond.
Yeah. And what was the final tally?
24.
24.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of highlights for you guys, at least a lot of wrecks.
So, Zach, this is the first time we've had a chance to talk with you. Gotta give us the 30-second about you.
No, so I'm based out of Homestead, Florida. The track's right here in my backyard. I mean, just started really getting into iRacing about a year ago. So, I mean, it's a blast, man. I'm hooked on it. So,
it's good to have you here with this group and this organization. So,
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, I do want to give a special shout out to my buddy Andy. I've been having some PC issues like for the last couple weeks, and he was grateful enough to give me his PC. So, I mean, that was a big part of the reason why I was able to put together a full race tonight. So, big shout out to Andy. I think he's watching still. So.
All right. Well, you know what we do here is you're welcome to hang around as we bring the rest of the drivers in. If you have a comment, feel free to make it. But hang out with us. We'd appreciate it.
Sound good. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You got it. All right, Charles, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations on your P2 finish.
Oh, thanks.
It was a long one out there, and give us kind of a rundown of what was going on. You were towards the front for the majority of the race. Give us your recap.
Just a lot of, I mean, obviously being in the front for when most of the wrecks were happening, just a lot of, I guess, people getting loose and not giving space, not checking up, whatever. What I can assume from the communications over the comms. But you know, it just sucked because then I had to worry about time limit, and then I stayed out. Everyone pitted, so then I should have just stayed out a little bit longer, waited, so that my tires would have been nothing. I think I passed the field 3 times. I went to the back 2 or 3 times. So then I got loose when I got back up. Went to the back, came back up. But yeah, it was fun. You know, wasn't could have gave the bumper a little bit more to some, but you know, I'm newer to this league, so I don't want to I don't want to wreak havoc too soon.
Well, we appreciate your driving, and certainly we were watching you as you made your way up and through the field. So congratulations on your P2. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, my teammates at 43 racing. I'm an honorary teammate here. I got my own team in our other league, but Sammy, Maurice, and Christoph and Russell, who wasn't Ottaway, who wasn't here tonight, um, to Sim 500 and the Goat Racing team, and also Fastlane, my other team. That's kind of like a co-op. Appreciate all them, and then you know my own sponsorship. I run a diecast company, so Goat Racing Diecast. So other than that, it was great. And to you guys, and for I feel bad for whoever was broadcasting and had the race control. That's why I spoke up to help. Good job sitting
Yes.
through that, because I'm sure you had to find. I'm sure you ran out of track trivia with 24 cautions and
I
117
think
Oh, I
laps.
gave
you
up.
gave up after
I
the.
gave up. Yeah, there was no. Once we passed like 8, I was like, I mean, unless anybody wants to learn about literally every single inch of the place, I was not about to say anything else. But no, I appreciate you helping me out with that. Battling that back and forth was challenging, but we made it underway. We got it done right in the nick of time. So thank you for that, and congrats on a great second place finish here going into next week. So congrats on that there, Mr. Van Scoik. But Rick, I think we got our winner, Alonzo King, in the booth. What's going on?
Hey, I'm finally back.
You are. It's been a while.
I know, man.
Well, congratulations on your finish. You survived.
I was surprised I did. So I took a
What?
2-tire stop there in the middle, kind of got track position. Then luckily, we got a caution about lap, I'm wanting to say 150, where everybody came down.
Hmm.
And no, that's when I took the 2 tires. When everybody came down, I just came down with them and just took 2 tires. Got track position. I was surprised I could hold up there when I could. Then I saw Doucette and that guy get into it, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm taking the lead.
Hey, well, you did it the right way, and I believe this was your first win last year in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. I believe, is that correct?
Yeah, so it was either here or Texas. I can't remember.
I believe it was Richmond. So definitely you have a fancy for this track. Give us kind of a quick rundown though of what all you saw this race. We did have 24 cautions to say the least. What was your kind of telltale sign for some of those? Was it just loose conditions?
Overdriving.
Yeah.
Guys not used to this car. The braking's a lot different than like the Xfinity or the trucks. So they would get in the corners, drive it in like you could with the trucks and stuff. Then when they touch their brakes, they'd just lock up. I watched that a lot. I did it myself. I got right into Chris's door, and or Chuck, I'm sorry. I got into his door by locking them up. But it's just backing your corners up here does a lot.
Well, we're happy to see you in the winner's circle and on the podium here, Alonso. And obviously, what that means is that you'll be getting an invite to join our podcast on for next week. So stay ready for that. We're again, any shout outs for tonight?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to GameSpire and Scum. It's an upcoming game. Well, it's been out for PC. It's a phenomenal game. If you play Call of Duty or DayZ or anything like that, it's a phenomenal. Go check it out. Also, Dark Tempest Motorsports and 13 Folds. So, and I definitely give a shout out to the broadcast team tonight. It was a long one, and Tech for Troops love what they do.
All right, there you have it. Alonzo King, our winner for tonight in the Tech for Troops, serving those who serve 240. Second place, Charles Van Scoik. Third place, Zach Ward. We thank you so much for tuning in. If you stayed with us this whole race, God bless you for hanging with this event. It was a long one for everybody involved, but again, we appreciate you tuning in. Whatever stream you happen to be watching us from. We thank you for that. And if you could like and follow so we could keep you up to date. John, where are we at next week? Everybody know?
Yep, we're going to be at Michigan, which is going to be a much better race, a wider racetrack, and very little braking involved there. So 120 laps, come out and watch us next week, same time, same broadcast channel here at the IWM Broadcast Network. And it's going to be a great race. So if you want to see some good, basically super speedway style racing mixed with some, I think, tire strategy and some pit strategy, come watch us next week, Rick. That'll be awesome.
All right, that's it, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great night.